giant blue wings or something. I'm probably just overthinking it. Hi everyone! Thank you so much for clicking to watch this video. If you are new here, my name is Sandy, and on this channel, we talk about all things interior design. What's most exciting about this video? What's most exciting about today's video is it's my first collaboration for my channel in collaboration with Space for Edit, which is a channel run by Cynthia, who is in Manchester. I love her channel, I'm subscribed, I watch her videos, and our videos are really in the same family, in the same wheelhouse. She focuses a lot on the designers who are out in the field working, and I focus a lot on what you'd be learning while you're in school. So our channels really complement each other very well. And I reached out to her to do this collab, and she was excited about it. So without further ado, here is Interior Design Vocabulary Part 1. The first word I want to go over is more of a phrase than a word, but it's to scale. It's a phrase that you'll probably hear me say a lot when I'm talking about drawings, or that you'll hear professors say, or you may have heard me say in past videos when I'm referring to some projects that I've done. And what to scale refers to is a scale. So first, let's go over that. A scale is a special ruler used by interior designers, architects, engineers, and then people in the surrounding professions. And it's used to measure, it could be mostly for interior designers for the purposes of our video, where it's going to be for feet and inches, or centimeters and millimeters if you are using the metric system, as we all should be. But I'm in the US and we're still on the imperial system here. Side note, that's a thing to look out for. If you're watching my video and you are not in the US, your scale is going to be in like millimeters, centimeters, kilometers, meters, and ours is not in the US. If you're in the US watching this, you're gonna have a feet and inches scale. The purposes of these rulers is to, I'm gonna call it a ruler for, you know, the purposes of this video, but it's called a scale. The purposes of this ruler slash scale is to help you draw something on a 8.5 by 11 piece of paper that is otherwise ginormous in real life. So if I am going to draw, for example, this wall behind me. This wall behind me is probably about 11 feet in length. I can't draw 11 feet on a piece of paper. So I have to use a scale. And what a scale does is it takes that 11 feet and makes it shrink. So on this scale slash ruler, it has different sides, and different sides have different measurements. One side could be 1/4 of an inch. And what it means is that each 1/4 inch is a foot, and one side could be 1/2 an inch. So each 1/2 inch is a foot. So if this wall is 11 feet, I would have 11 1/2 inches on a piece of paper. It could be a larger piece of paper that would tell me, okay, actually this wall is 11 feet, and now I know. So when you have that measurement, even if you only have one measurement of one wall, you're actually able to measure out everything else as long as it's drawn, because you now know, okay, this is the measurement I'm working with. If something is this big, it actually is referring to something that is this big. So you measure each side, how big the window is or how big the doorway is, and you're able to know, okay, this is 1/2 an inch technically on this ruler, but what it means is it's a foot. So each 1/2 an inch equals 1 foot. I hope that made sense. If you have any questions about that, look down below.
Hello everyone! I'm so excited to be on this collaboration. Thank you so much, Sandy, for inviting me on your channel, introducing me to your subscribers. I'm over the moon. And it's so amazing to start this with such an interesting video, because I do think that we usually kind of just forget about these simple things and we use it day to day, but we forget that actually people might not even know what these simple terms mean. So my next term is floor plan. So usually we go to the site, we take our measurements, we do our sketches, and we come back and we start putting everything on 2D. So if you think of a floor plan, sometimes people use bird's eye view just because it's literally when a bird would fly over, that's what a bird would see. So everything's kind of from the top, so a top view as well. So on the floor plans, you can see everything from furniture layouts, to lighting layouts, to actual flooring options. So your carpets, your hardwood flooring, your tile flooring, anything like that. So everything is from the top. And the importance of a floor plan is massive because that's where it all starts. Like my background is more in commercial interiors, so I do a lot of cafe designs, restaurants, few offices, so more like public places. And what's super important is to figure out the flow of the space. So where will people be going, where will they sit down, how they're going to interact with the space. So that's everything that you can do on a floor plan, like literally just sketching over, whilst you are kind of locating the furniture solutions that you've picked out. Yeah, so that's basically a floor plan. And to touch on a little bit what Sandy talked about before about the scale, all floor plans are up to scale as well. And maybe a little something that I can add on top of Sandy's tips and explanation is that scale can come in different combinations. So you got your standard, that's 1 to 100. And then if you want the plan to be kind of zoomed in and to go bigger, you go 1 to 50, 1 to 20. If it's very detailed, you even go to 1 to 10 and 1 to 5 sometimes. And then if you want to kind of zoom out and see like the whole bigger picture, you go backwards. So you start from 1 to 200, 1 to 500, 1 to 1000, but that's more like what architects use in their plans, because obviously they are planning the whole area, they might be looking at the whole neighborhood, so they are using bigger scale on their drawings. And that's it. Floor plan finished.
Thanks for that, Cynthia. Now that she has talked about what a floor plan is, let's go into an elevation. Think of an elevation as a flat drawing, a flat 2D drawing. Basically, a drawing on a piece of paper is going to be, of course, 2D, but there are perspective drawings that kind of look like you can just walk into the space or like walk into that piece of paper. And then there are elevations. An elevation isn't meant to look super realistic the way a perspective drawing is. It's really just another way of seeing the space, and it also gives you measurements that you can't see on the floor plan that Cynthia mentioned before. So I'm gonna find an elevation I think that I've drawn for school and put it up for you guys to see. And you can see that an elevation is just a series of vertical and horizontal lines, okay? It doesn't have any kind of diagonal lines that try and make it look realistic or like something looks further away or closer up, anything like that. It's super flat. And it's gonna have measurements of things that you can't see on a floor plan. So on a floor plan, I can figure out how wide a doorway is, but I don't know how tall it is if I'm not looking at it through an elevation or straight on. Or, for example, in a kitchen, I wouldn't know if the kitchen cabinets open this way or the other way without an elevation. An elevation will also identify those things for you, the direction that things open. If you have cabinets that are really tall and go all the way up to the ceiling, I wouldn't know that if I wasn't staring at a flat elevation. From a floor plan, I can't tell that. If you have countertops that are lower or higher than the average, like 36 inches it's about, that countertops are, then I wouldn't know that because I can't see it in the elevation. Basically, it's just another way of seeing really important measurements in your home or office or whatever project it is that you're working on.
Okay, going on to sections. Sections basically are quite similar to elevations. If you think of an elevation, so you go through a space, you see all your objects kind of interacting on different levels, so you can really see that breakdown, how the space is going to look like. But we use sections or section drawings when we actually want to slice through an object. So with elevation, you are looking flat on it, like 2D elevation, you look at straightforward, that's what you see, that's what you get. But when we use sections, we actually cut through the object. So let's say, let me grab some mad example, but hey ho. So this is a candle jar. So an elevation would be just looking straight to it. We would draw up the lines, we would follow around and fill in whatever finish it is from or whatnot, put some dimensions next to it as well so we know how high it is and things like that. But with a section, if I would have a magic saw, I would actually cut through the object, open it up and show you what it is actually made of and how the insides work, and I don't know how the material changes and things like that. So we use sections for various kind of detail drawings. So let's say, again, if I would use something on my project, it would be a section of a counter, of a bar counter or a servery counter. So when I give the designs further down to my contractors, to my manufacturers, they can actually see how I want it built and what sort of materials I want to use it, because everything's referenced, everything has got dimensions next to it. Other elevations could be bespoke joinery, if you are doing any kinds of bespoke shelving, back bar, again, feature back bars, and if you need to cut through them to see what's on the inside. Another very popular section layout that we use in the industry is for fixed seating. So your booth seating, your banquet seating, that's usually quite an important detail because there are just so many different kinds of ways how to build fixed seating. You know, the angles of the seat can change, the angle of the back can be more laid back or straight, and then again we look at how the padding is built and what sort of foam we use. So all of that detail goes into a section plan, but it sort of looks like an elevation, but if we would kind of take off the first front layer of the object, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's it. That's my 2 magical words. On to you, Sandy.
That concludes today's video, you guys, and that concludes my very first collab. I'm so excited. I hope that you guys find this video useful. We tried to start it off with really basic foundational words that you're going to be learning in school, and that will help you kind of speak the lingo, that kind of clearing up that interior design jargon. And if I refer to things in my videos in the future, things like this, then you'll know what I'm talking about. And please do not forget to check out Cynthia's channel, Space for Edit. Super informative. She does like day in the life videos and just talks about her projects that she's working on, whereas I'm only talking about school stuff. Again, our channels complement each other very well, and I'm so excited to do this collab with her, and hopefully it leads to more collabs and that you guys like it. So again, check out her Instagram. She's really active on there. Check out her YouTube channel. I'm subscribed as well. And don't forget to hit that thumbs up button and that subscribe button down below for me. And like I say, you guys, I need you to put a ring on it, okay? Well, this isn't really a commitment because it's on my index, but here, that's a commitment, all right? And if you don't know what it means to put a ring on it, then you need to watch some of my other videos over here so that you know what that means, okay? Bye.